My grandmother always yanked my hair hard enough to make my head jerk back and pulled so hard my neck cracked, so I made her shave her own head completely. My grandmother Dolores was 72 and had an obsession with my hair since I was little. I had long curly hair that reached my waist and she couldn't keep her hands off it. Every time she saw me, she'd yank it hard enough to jerk my head back, then run her fingers through it, saying she was checking if it was real. She'd been doing this since I was 5 years old and I was 23 now. She'd pull so hard my scalp would ache for hours. At family dinners, Dolores would walk behind my chair and grab a handful to smell it. Said she was making sure I wasn't using cheap products that would embarrass the family. If she didn't like how it smelled, she'd pull harder and tell everyone my hygiene was questionable. When I'd try to move away, she'd grip tighter and say disrespectful grandchildren don't deserve personal space. She'd actually wrap my hair around her fist like a rope and use it to pull me closer when she wanted to criticize something about me. My weight, my job, my relationship status. Each criticism came with a sharp tug. At my cousin's wedding, Dolores pulled my hair during the ceremony because she wanted to see if my curls were natural or permed. The whole church heard me gasp in pain. She whispered loud enough for 3 rows to hear that only trashy women got perms, and she needed to check. She pulled out several strands, examining them like evidence while the bride and groom were saying vows. When my mom told her to stop, Dolores said she had a right to know if her granddaughter was lying about her appearance. She'd do this thing where she'd compare my hair to her own. Dolores had thin, dyed blonde hair that she spent $300 on every month at the salon. She'd pull my hair and her own saying mine was too thick, too ethnic looking, too attention-seeking. She actually told people I grew it long to show off and make other women feel bad. She'd yank it during photos saying I took up too much space in frames. During Christmas dinner last year, she grabbed my hair while I was serving myself potatoes and pulled backwards so hard I dropped the spoon. Hot potatoes splattered everywhere. She said clumsy people shouldn't have distracting hair and maybe I should cut it all off. She held my hair like reins on a horse, steering me around the kitchen while telling everyone this was how they trained girls to be graceful in her day. My boyfriend Kevin finally said something and Dolores called him whipped for defending someone with obviously fake hair. She pulled extra hard to prove her point and actually made my neck crack. But here's what Dolores didn't know. Her precious salon hair was mostly extensions. I found out from her hairdresser Jorge when I went to the same salon. He mentioned my grandmother had been coming for years because her hair was so thin she needed extensions to look presentable. She had maybe 30% real hair left. The rest was $3,000 worth of European hair extensions she got replaced every 8 weeks. She told everyone she had naturally thick hair for her age and good genes. Dolores was hosting her 73rd birthday garden party and demanded everyone attend. She specifically called to tell me to wear my hair up so I wouldn't overshadow her event with my attention-seeking style. She'd already told people she was going to check if I'd followed orders, and there would be consequences if I disobeyed. I showed up with my hair down. Dolores saw me from across the garden and started marching over. I could see her hand already reaching out. She grabbed a huge handful from the back and pulled down hard, saying I never learned respect. That's when I stepped sideways quickly. The thing about extensions is they're attached with glue or tiny beads. When you pull them wrong, they come out, and take the real hair with them. Dolores's hand was tangled in my hair when I moved. She didn't let go fast enough. The force pulled her off balance and she grabbed harder, trying to steady herself. I spun away and her hand stayed twisted in my hair, pulling her forward. She fell face first into the dessert table, but the real damage happened to her hair. The sudden jerking motion when she fell had yanked out 3 tracks of extensions. They were hanging from her hand, still tangled in my hair. Everyone could see the bald patches on her scalp where they'd been attached. The remaining extensions were crooked, showing the sparse, gray reality underneath. Dolores tried to get up but slipped on cake frosting. More extensions came loose and fell on the ground like dead blonde snakes. Her real hair was maybe 2 inches long and patchy like a molting bird. People gasped. Full story on channel. Link below.